Hello, everybody. I was so busy reading Vicky Robles's information that I forgot to say hello. Hi, everybody. I'm so sorry, Vicky. Here is Deb. I normally plan to come in here on at 3:05, and that gives me 5 minutes to kind of center myself. But Vicky, I'm so sorry. Hello, Jody and Nikki and Susan, Mariella. But Vicky Robles, goodness, I've heard pleurisy is very expensive. I think it's very painful. Isn't it inflammation somehow in the lungs or something? Ooh, ouch. So hello, my quilters and chatters. So I'm here. Mark just stopped running his fever last night. So it's been worrisome for me, and I am glad that he's feeling better. And I'm here. I had a terrible day yesterday. I was down here working because he just likes to be curled in bed and just be left alone to either get better or not. But I did go in every few hours and check on him and try to make sure he drank something, because I think he got really dehydrated. But anyway, yeah, I think you're right, Mariella. An infection of the lining of the lungs or something. I think you're right. So anyway, here is Vicky's telling us. Oh, ouch. My goodness, that would be painful. There's no room in there for that. So anyway, yep, Kiwi is here. Kiwi! Hi, Kiwi! Hi! Hi, Kiwi! You want to come say hello? She has been trying to fly back and forth to me, and the last time I put her on her PlayStation, I said, stay. So she was like, oh, okay. But I'll bring her up in just a minute. So, she's ready to come up now. She said, you talk to me, Mom. Hold on, let me grab her. Hi, Kiwi. You have some grape in your mouth? Oh, you dropped it, huh? Can you say hello? Hey, want to dance? Want to dance? Want to dance? Huh? Want to dance? Dance? Oh, we're going to sing, huh? Kiwi's here. Oh, goodness, you're so excited. You're so excited. Can you say hello? Huh? Want to give me a kiss? Give me a kiss? She's being shy right now. Oh, thank you, Mariella. So I'll let her visit a little bit. Can you do uppy downy, uppy downy? Huh? She's talking, but she's like, I just got on you, Mom. So I'll let her kind of settle in there, and then we'll try her tricks. So, hi, Kiwi. Hi. You good girl? Huh? Are you a good girl? She said, it's been a while since I've been down here. Oh, got to check out what Mom's got on. I know. What is all that stuff? Yes, I know. What am I wearing? You ready? Want to come up? No? But anyway, but Mark's doing better. So far, I'm not sick. I've been a little sniffly, but I'm hanging in there. I'm trying real hard. But anyway, Kiwi is going to be 2 years old in June. Boy, time has flown. I guess I've already had her a year, huh? Wow. I got to write this stuff down. As I get older, I forget this stuff. Kiwi, come here. Hey. I've got to trim her wings. She's got her flight feathers back in. So come here. Kiwi, do you dance? Dance? Yeah, good girl. Oh, she's so proud. You want to do dance? Dance? Huh? Can you do uppy downy, uppy downy? Can you do uppy downy? Good girl. Do it. Oh, do it uppy downy. Good girl. Can I have a kiss? Can I have a kiss? Thank you. That was a very good kiss. So Oh, that's wonderful, Maureen. You have a cockatiel that's 21. That's terrific. I have a cockatiel who's about 9 years old. He's upstairs. He doesn't like doing tricks and stuff, but he loves whistling. Like he whistles the theme song for the Andy Griffith Show. He whistles the theme song from Hawaii Five-O. So he likes that. Kiwi, Kiwi, Kiwi's here. What do you want? We're going to do dance, dance, dance. Oh, yes. We're dancing. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, she's so proud. Are you proud of yourself? Are you being good? I'll leave her on me. Yours just pooped. That is cute. I think, let me see. Cockatiels can live. That's kind of old for a cockatiel. I think they're normally like 15 to 20, and she's can live up to 25 years, I think, depending on how they're taken care of. Wow, maybe 35? Wow. So anyway, because I thought my cockatiel at 9, he's getting a little up there. But let me see if I can now get her to go back. Step up. No, don't bite. Step up. She knows I'm going to put her back. And she's not biting hard, but just trying to say, Mama, I don't want to go back. Hold on a second. Stay. Stay. Good girl. Oh, yes. She loves to do that call out now when I either say her name, when I bring her in the living room for the evening. Oh, she has to let everybody know she's there. So anyway. Oh, I'm sorry, Vicki. So as I was saying, yesterday, I had the day to myself since Mark was all curled up in bed. And so I came down here to work, and I thought, I'm going to be able to get so much done. Well, have you ever had days that you're just off? I mean, nothing's working right. It's just a mess. So let me tell you about my day yesterday. And, oops. And then I've got some fun things to show you. I've got some good things and some bad things. But let me grab a couple things. Today in our show, I'm going to show you my Valentine pattern. She listened really well, didn't she? I'm going to show you my Valentine pattern, and then I'm going to show you something new I made with the foam core board. And then I'll just show you the progress on the Thursday landscape art quilt project. And then I'm going to show you something I made for each of my kids and myself. And then some organization sheets that I got from Just Get It Done Quilts, Karen Brown. And I want to make sure to give her good credit. So that's what I'm planning on today. What do you want to do? You want to do uppy downy, huh? Uppy downy. Good girl. Oh, she's so proud. She loves when I say good girl. You get excited when I say good girl. Good. And you know what? She sees herself on my monitor. So she's like, ooh, there's a bird in there. You see that bird? You see that bird? She has her own YouTube playlist where I bring up bird videos for her to enjoy. So, and she'll let me know. She'll kind of jump onto the laptop and go to the screen like, Mama, show me my videos. I mean, what is with us nowadays? So here you go, baby girl. You stay. I definitely need to trim the wings. Oh, and do you see a quilt that I've got hanging up over there? That's my City Lights quilt. And Diane 57 is here. Yay! And Akko is here. Oh, my goodness. There's a bunch of names in here. I'm so thrilled. So, but that's my City Lights quilt. I decided to hang up something different today. And so that's the one I put 150 little tiny lights in it. So anyway, all right. So now, yeah, I made that pattern up and wanted to do something with it. And boy, did I spend hundreds of hours on it because I ended up doing so much thread painting and so much stuff work and trapunto that it's more like a piece of tapestry instead of cotton anymore. So anyway, and they're real lights and they're plugged in right now. So those are real lights. You can get they technology is amazing, and you can get the most amazing LED lights that don't get hot and that you can put in fabric. You just have to, you can't wash it. Got to be real careful how you handle it. But it's a lot of fun. You feeling better, Diane? Oh, good, sweetie. Okay. So first thing I'd like to show you, since they're right here, is I was looking at a list I wrote myself of things to do, and I got it. I did it all. Yay. Today I had to write myself a list. I've been real fuzzy headed today and yesterday, so I do apologize. And when I get like this, I don't know what else to do. Anyway, I was checking around on YouTube and happened to see, that this year, Susan's giving good information out. All right, Susan, you take care of it. She sent me the cutest thing. She sent me an email with, don't forget this and don't forget this. I tell you what, if I had a full-time Susan here, I would get so much done. I mean, that girl just keeps you organized. But I this year, it's very important to me to get a lot of stuff done. A lot of stuff, especially that I've made for somebody and never finished it, because how are they supposed to know that you care about them if you don't finish the work and give it to them? So I'm really committed. I know that a lot of people in the last 10 years have talked about getting things done, but now I'm ready. I had to wait until I was ready, and now I'm ready. So I like this. This is from last year, but this is from Just Get It Done Quilts. Karen Brown, she's on YouTube, has a channel. And look at this. I love this because it's like, what is your want or dream? What resources or skills do you need? Why is this important to you? And this is the best thing. Action and due date. And so what I'm going to do is use this as kind of an idea thing to make up my own list of quilts. And I like the action and due date because, you have to kind of give it a date, give it a day of the week. You got to make it real. I one time watched a man who said intention was, I forget his name now. He's passed on, but it was like intention's a good thing. But what I have found is intention without action is nothing. It's just talk. So I'm implementing action this year. Then this is a neat thing, dreams and wants. I think it's good to write things down because that takes it from intention to action. So if you want these, just go to her website. She has a website that I think is justgetitdone.com, and you can print out your own. And if that gives you some good incentive to organize your mind and decide it will help you organize your room. And you know how I've made these trays, these project trays? That's going to be a big part of my success this year because with so many things, I'll lay the projects out. Have you ever noticed if you can just get started, then you're good as gold? So if I can just lay out the projects in those trays, so all I have to do is pick it up, take it to the sewing machine and work. That's a great idea. Mary Zare is here too. That's wonderful. So just remember and look online. I mean, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are wonderful people who've done it for you. Look online, type in whatever, quilt organization, whatever, and see what these kind, generous people have out there to offer you. So thought I would show you that. Then, talking about good things, And the bad that I'm going to show you is really funny now. So don't worry. I'm not going to tell you anything bad that would make you sad. I think politics has made us sad. No. So, what? Oh, the sound of this tape ripping scared her. So she came over to Mom because, I make her safe. But anyway, I'm using some tape to tape this down before I show you. Let me pull one more piece off. Don't worry, it's just tape. All these sounds, I know, all these sounds could be a big hawk that's going to try to come eat her. So, all right, let me put the tape away. This is just good old packing tape. I love that stuff. It's a strong tape. I like it being clear, and it works really well. So this is what I made each of my kids this year. This is what I made each of them. I went to the dollar store and found these cheap little binders in pretty colors. And then I decided, because, they're always saying, Mom, what's that recipe? Or we've all talked about, we should get a family recipe book going with all of our favorite recipes. Like there's this one thing that I make called Mama Surprise. And I had it at a sewing meeting, but didn't really get the list of ingredients, but I kind of just made it up. And I'm going to record what I did for that because we called it Mama's Surprise because I had no idea what it was really supposed to be like. So then from Amazon, I think it was Amazon, I ordered a pack of 100 laminating sheets. And I sat on the computer and wrote up the recipes. Like here is squash casserole. See? Squash casserole. And I just wrote up, and this is what I used to make that the kids like. No-bake cookies. Oh my gosh, these are the chocolate no-bakes that my oldest daughter, they were her favorite. They still, to this day, are her very favorite cookie. And so I wrote that up. And then cranberry salad. I mean, this is just an example. But like when I make pumpkin pie, I wrote that up because I use at least half brown sugar instead of all white sugar because I like the richness it gives it. So all the little things I've tweaked over time or that were family recipes, like my grandmother who was Arcadian, she had a recipe called Perlo where if I don't pass the recipe down, they won't have it. So anyway, but I took the recipes, printed them out, and then did the laminating. And it's self-laminating. It's not, I didn't have to get a machine or anything. And it was like $15. Oh, no-bake cookies are the best. Yeah, see, I don't want to lose these recipes. I want to pass them down. My mother was a good cook, but we don't have a family recipe book, and I want to make sure my kids have them. So I gave them the binder for Christmas, but I didn't have time to get, in fact, the laminating papers didn't come in until after Christmas. So they've all got their book, and then now it's easy and inexpensive to ship these. So I'm going to ship them each their cards. And I went and bought a $10 paper punch from Walmart, a 3-hole punch. And luckily, you can adjust the holes on the bottom. I never realized this. There's little holes, and you just unscrew it and move it so that I could make them to fit this small size. Because, see, this is only 8 inches by maybe 6 inches. And so now I could get, that way I could get 2 recipes per page, and I will just put them in the binder, and that's done. So yesterday I worked on cutting them with my paper cutter and punching the holes in them so I can get the recipes to the kids. But in the past, Deb would have let this linger around for months. Not the new Deb. I'm getting it done. So now I think we'll have a bit of fun. Just a little bit of fun. All right. Oh, hi, Cheryl. How are you? And Bonnie's here. We love our Bonnie. Yes, I will be happy to share all my recipes. Now they're on the computer. It's so easy. And Groups.io. I must say I'm enjoying it. I was worried I wouldn't like it. I like it. I love being able to go on there and grab your pictures to bring them in for Sunday. Oh, Bonnie, I went on your blog and grabbed your pictures, but I just wanted to double check before I show them today. That it was just the ones you put in this month. That feta cheese recipe. Oh my gosh! But I just love those pictures, and I hope I have your permission, hon, to show them today. So, yep, I love that. That's a great idea, and maybe we can have our own cookbook. Because once you have the recipes in writing, it's so easy to print them out and put them in a binder, and boom, you got it. So. Oh, that's a wonderful idea, Maureen Collars. That's a wonderful idea. See, that's so nice because, we have to start thinking of ourselves as keeper of the family traditions, recipes, all this. And, we're not guaranteed any kind of time. So we should really, I think that's one thing. The older I get, the more I realize I got to get the word out there, get the story out there, make my mark out there. All right. So this is just going to be some fun. You know that last week I thought I'm going to do a quick little show you all how you can make a easy, quick little holiday mini quilt, just quick and easy, 1 hour, right? Okay. So, and you see my Nadine and Cheryl's quilt. But anyway, so this was the recipe. This is the pattern. Kind of a recipe for quilts, but this is the pattern. And remember, it's from On Point Quilter, who's really, really good. There is the close-up of it. It's really good at teaching EQ8. So I printed this out, Susan gave you the shortcut, and I took and I was cutting it out, and I was fusing it and gluing it to the background. And the background that I did was this from Stonehenge. It was this, okay? But yesterday when I sat down, I was going to go ahead and finish it and show you all and go, oh, isn't this just wonderful? And yeah. And so I looked at that background and it bothered me. I said, it's too busy. These little shapes got lost on it. So I said, I know what I'm going to do. And I cut myself a new piece of fabric. I said, I'll put the shapes on the back of it. And that way it'll mute the design. Nope. The design still came through way too strong. So I said, okay, being smart, I said, I'm going to bleach it. I'm going to put it in a bleach and water solution just long enough to lighten the design. Bleached it, nothing happened. Put some more bleach, stirred it in, something happened. Do you like this? It bleached all right. It went from this to this. And now it's the color of dried blood. It's a reddish brown like old blood. Well, pardon me, but I don't think you want a Valentine that looks like dried blood. So, okay, took the bright right out of it and left the uck. So, that's done. Get rid of that. So then I got out all my pinks and all my reds and looked for whites, and I was hoping to find something. Couldn't find anything. I was getting so frustrated. And then I came along and found this light pink, and it's an old fabric that's part polyester even. I thought, oh, Okay, and I cut out all my shapes. I cut them off the old fabric so carefully. See, cut them out so carefully. Then I said, I cut out. In fact, what this is where I cut out from the scraps of that fabric, cut out the whole hearts, and then I'm going to put fusible on the back of them. And then I'll cut those out, and I'm going to scatter them on the background. And it's going to be beautiful, and I will have turned it into something amazing. There was a problem. Now, I'm going to move the camera so I can show you, because I'd rather show you than tell you. Like, Deb, you didn't. Yes, I did. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I was sitting here, and instead of moving this out of the way, I was taking bits of fusible, laying them in place, bringing my iron over to iron. And here is my non-stick thing. And then this was this is the fusible right here that I was using to tear pieces and lay it so I could have fusible here. And of course, I was trying to be cheap and not waste any. So I was kind of like tearing. So I'm sitting here and I've got this right here. And I got my iron on nice and hot. And I went to grab what I thought was my ironing sheet. But instead, guess what? I grabbed the fusible and laid it down, picked up my iron, put it on it, and then realized, oh no. So I lifted it off and there was fusible everywhere. And I tried to be calm. In fact, you can see the fusible. Let me see if you can see this fusible on top of the fabric. It's just awful. I tried everything. I tried peeling it off, which worked in a couple places. I tried scratching it off, worked a little bit. Then I thought, well, if an iron put it on, maybe an iron can get it off. Forgetting that this is polyester, I put another piece of fabric on top of this and ironed over it. So no, it didn't take it off. It pushed it further into the weave. So let me see if you can tell. It almost looks, it's darker. It's all discolored and almost a little burnt in there. Kind of like as if I had dropped oil onto the fabric. So I ruined it. And I said, I'm not going to cut out those shapes again. I'm not going to cut out all those little things again. So, you know what's going to happen to this? This is going to be filed in the circular file. And some of y'all might go, oh, no, I'm throwing it away. And understand that I'm happy to throw it away. I spent 4 hours on this yesterday. That's time I can never get back. It might look pretty online, but it's not pretty in person because those stylized hearts have this, the fusible on them. I can't get it off. And the background's all discolored and model. It's stiff. Oh my gosh, it made it stiff. So, I'll have to try that. So anyway, I just kind of went, honestly, sometimes you just have to laugh and go, that wasn't meant to be. My counselor would have loved that. Sometimes it's just not meant to be. Well, aw, you're so cute. So anyway, be careful what you're reaching for. Make sure it's not the fusible paper. Make sure it's your safe ironing sheet. So I said, you know what? I'm going to tell the ladies. I'm going to tell them that sometimes you get dried blood. I mean, who wants a dried blood colored? And this has so little on it. And you know what? Being cheap got me into this. So this is going to go away. So anyway, that's done. And now since I'm soured on it, I think that's going to be thrown away too. Move on, Deb. Move on. So anyway, I thought I was going to show y'all because, you know, so often on YouTube, we can look like we're just amazing. You know, we're just all that and perfect. No, I have good days and I have days of what was I thinking? And I feel like I need to show that to y'all because sometimes things can come pretty easy to me. Sometimes I struggle worse than ever. And I call it my squirrel problem where I get easily distracted. My brain, I just hit my knee. Hold on just as I writhe in pain because I hit my side of my knee. I have arthritis and I hit it on the drawer knob. Oh, God. Oh, that hurts. That drawer knob got me right in between my knee bone. Anyway, so I told you I might be a little off today. I think it's true. So now I have something fun to show you. And I saw this online and I looked it up and I said, that's a cool idea. And I've tried something like this, but it didn't really work that well. And, oh, thanks. It really does hurt. My eyes are watering. And if y'all weren't here, I'd be rolling all around going, oh, my God, that hurt. I've always had very sensitive knees because of my arthritis. I have JRA, and, my knees used to swell up. I couldn't even bend my legs when I was a teenager. But anyway, I saw this, and I thought, what a cool thing. And it is... she felt bad for me that I hit my knee, but it's a prop it up easel style block design board or like mini little design wall. And I noticed in the picture it had this back on it. And I said, that would work better than what I've done in the past because mine were always so floppy they just fell over. So I looked at that and thought, if I concentrate really hard, I think I can do that. So this is what I did yesterday. I took a scrap of foam core board and exactly, I took a scrap, something old that I had taped up and, you know, and I cut an 18-inch square, okay? I used my cutting mat and a razor knife. Let me see. Let me grab my razor knife real quick. All right. So I had a nice sturdy ruler, so I didn't cut my fingers, a razor knife, and then used my regular rotary cutting mat. Cut 18-inch square. Then I had another piece on the back that you see on the back here. And I noticed that on that design, which I'll show you again, on that design, it was made at the back part was made out of one piece. Do you see that? One piece. And I thought, good, that makes it stronger and more unified. So then I realized, okay, to make this, I wish they were different colors so you could see it. I don't know. Okay. But if you see, there's the top piece, and then see how it angles out on each side? And then you come in a little ways and you make a line, draw the line for this triangle part right here. On each side, you do that triangle part. Okay. Whoops. Okay. So see what's happening? And so you draw a line so you know where you're going to score. And I scored from the other side. Okay. And then I noticed it had this little drop down thing. So this had to be fully cut out, and it extends. See how it extends into the arm? So see what I did? I just looked at the picture and followed what they did. I had to cut all this completely out on the top, but only score the bottom. So I didn't want it to be flimsy because I want it to be stable. So what I did is I scored it, and then I took packing tape and I bent it so it bent it back like this, and I covered every seam with packing tape. But I couldn't just put it on it flat because then it wouldn't bend. So I had to bend it then to a 45-degree angle, put my packing tape on it. Then all the edges of this thing, I put packing tape because packing tape really can help sturdy something up. So now this can fold flat for when you want to take it somewhere. Or you pull this down, and you'll hear the packing tape as I move it. And then you'll pull this out, and you'll pull this out, and it will hold. Now it has something to support it when it sits there. Okay? And so, but just make sure that all the seams, the back, you put packing tape on it laying flat. But on the front, on the other side, put the packing tape to help support. You don't want just one layer of paper being the only thing that's holding this together. And hopefully, I'm going to see how sturdy it will be. But I really do like this. And I noticed when I put it, I was trying to guess how far up they had it from the bottom and how far down from the top. But I noticed when I first went to stand it up, it was leaning back too far. So instead of making a whole new piece, I just hot glued a little piece, an additional piece. So now, let me show you. Now it stands up very sturdy. And I even thought if I want to make it a touch sturdier, I can take a piece of foam core and make a brace that goes across here and here and just has a little slit that fits on. You know what I'm saying? A little slit so it kind of goes on like this, and that'll hold these in place, and then it'll be real sturdy because that way it'll keep it from these pieces from moving back and forth. But anyway, so I like it, and that way you can, you know, when you're working on a complicated block, like when I work on the 2 quilts I just recently did had very complicated blocks. So now what I'm going to do, and you cover it with flannel, and then you have a mini little at your desk design wall. This cost me nothing but some hot glue because it was pre-used and had tape, and I had used it for some demonstration, and it was all scraps. At the most, it would cost you $1. So if you had to buy a new board. Let me put Birdie away. Come here. Tap up. All right. Good girl. So now I have a piece of flannel, and I'm going to put this. Okay. Let me lay this down. And I'm going to show you how to put this on. You can't, normally when I do these kind of things, I make an envelope But you can't make an envelope with this one because you have to leave the easel part, the stand part free to come out. And so let me move a couple things out of the way. All right. So then you just lay it here and let me show you how I cut out the corners because you don't want a bulk. Flannel can be a little bulky. And this, let me see, how did I turn this? Okay, here we go. What I did is I knew I would be on camera, and so I drew the corners in just this, yeah, there it is. I drew the corners. Let me turn one more time. I tried to draw the placement so it would be right. Because as close as I tried to get the board square, it doesn't always go square. All right. Let me figure out. I might have, this is the thing. Here we go. This is the problem. Fabric moves. So trying to get it just in the right place is tricky. All right. So let me stretch the fabric out. All right. So now I see how I've cut out my corners. I don't want all that bulk in the corner. And then I'm going to come along here and put some hot glue. And this is a low temp glue. Don't worry. Even if I get it on me, it's not going to hurt that bad. That sounds very comforting, doesn't it? All right. Now let me carefully turn this around. But this, I think, could be very handy, especially when I sew upstairs if I'm not at my regular sewing area too. I think it could be very handy. All right. And I usually do opposite sides so I can pull it a little bit snug. All right. Okay. Pull this up. I was afraid to use high temp because this is a artificial. Oh, this is not glued down. Okay. So let me start by gluing this down. But I like how I cut that corner out because that way you don't have these bulky corners. And you definitely, and see, you can't bring it too far on the back because you cannot get in the way of all this. For now, since I'm going to glue this, I'm just going to lift those up a little bit so they don't get in the way of gluing this fabric. All right, so there's my last side. I bring it up. All right, so here we are. And let me back up now. Hold on, ladies. Okay, so here it is. And let me see. So here you can have a design wall sitting here. Let me get these opened right. In fact, hold on one second, ladies. Hold on one second. While we're here, if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and make the support to cover I'll have to figure out how I can keep it with the board. That's the only reason I hadn't made it yet. I want to make it bigger than that distance. Okay, now I want something that's going to be able to hold itself in place and keep those legs in place. I'll end up neatening this up later. Well, let me see. That is a nice sharp blade. Good job. Sometimes I don't break off the blades in time and they get really awful. So it's nice to break it off and have a fresh blade. All right, so what I'm going to do now is put it here and get an ink pen and measure. Just eyeball it, measure. Okay. Then, you see what I've drawn? And then I'm going to come in here and cut this out. I think my scissors might work on this. All right, and just kind of pull this loose. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to come over here and cut on the lines. All right, now I'm going to do one more quick thing. I'm going to take a little bit of this packing tape because I can see right now that this is going to be a weak point. So I'm going to take this packing tape and put across there. And get another little piece. And put it across here. And like I said, this is not pretty, but it's just supposed to show you. Now what I'll do is, see how I put it on there? See, so I cut out that slit here and a slit there, and that way I put it on. And now it's much sturdier. Let me put that away so I don't hurt myself. Let me clean up my stuff. And this is why I save. This is why I save these little bits and pieces. So I think that works pretty good. And you see that that's really nice. I've just got to figure out where to put it. I don't want to lose it. Maybe I'll put a little pocket in here to slip it in. I think that's what I'll do. Okay, what do you think? What do you think? All right. So this is my new, what can I do with a piece of foam core board project? Because, you know, I love, if I can find something that can make your sewing, quilting life better, I will do that. I would definitely do that. So anyway, I really like it. And it's pretty sturdy. And you could take it to class, slip it in, whatever you put your rulers and cutting mats in, slip it in. So then to fold it, you take this out, lay that down, and lay this down. And maybe look at that, slid it right underneath one of the little arms. Pretty cool, huh? All right, you're making a rag quilt. Neat. Have you ever seen John Flynn take a rag quilt and use a weed whacker to fluff up cut all the raggy parts? Yeah, he does. He uses a weed whacker. So anyway, so that is today's little project. But I'm not done yet. I promised Miss Susan, oh, here's another piece of glue art. There we go. Another piece of glue art. I think I'll throw that away. But anyway, let me unplug my glue gun because I've got some hand quilting to show you. Miss Susan was mentioning she wanted to do some hand quilting. So I said, I can do that because I've been working on my Becky's quilt. All right. All righty. Let me put this away and bring all my hand quilting stuff over. I don't know why she thought I was talking to her because I wasn't. Okay. All right. So here's my hand quilting stuff. But first, let me show you two little things. I've got a really cool picture to show you too that Jody sent me of an idea she's using with her art quilt, her hummingbird. Wait till you see it. So, oh, just real quick, I got a package from Miss Diana Wright, and she included some things that she's made that I can take to my retreats and give them out as prizes. A little mini, I love this thing, a little mini lint roller. Ladies are going to love that. A coffee koozie with place for a card. Like, you know, if you wanted to keep your credit card or driver's license handy, and coffee koozie. People are going to love that. And then look at this keychain. It's keychain with a lipstick in it. How cool is that? So I'm already ahead of the game. Okay. Then this week, I had someone here gave me a gift certificate to Keepsake Quilting, which I loved especially because they're the sister of Pineapple Quilts. So I found some fabric that just set my heart on fire. And so I decided I'm going to go to Keepsake and see if I can spend that gift certificate. So thank you to my Secret Santa. Anyway, this was on sale really cheap, like $2.70. So I got a yard of labels. And these will be coming back to groups as I do small little giveaways, things that can be sent in a little envelope. So I've got plenty, and they're cute as can be. Just all different kinds, cute as can be. So got that. Now this is the only partial order because the fabric is new and just starting to come out, and they don't have it all yet. And I wish, this is called Prose, Prose, and it is by Maywood Studio, and it's peonies, which is my very favorite flower. So I love it. And I love how they are doing the selvages, printing the colors that are in it. Isn't that the cutest? The selvages are becoming art of their own. So this is to offer some contrast, but I have the white background of this. And then look at this. Isn't this beautiful? So, and I think I have 3 more in the line that'll be coming. And as soon as they get here, I'll show them to you. But I saw this and thought, I have to have it. So it was very nice to be able to do that. The lipstick is for me? Oh, I thought it was for a prize. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, and did Bonnie ever tell me if I can use her photos? I didn't catch it. I'm sorry, I wasn't looking good. Yeah, only John Flynn would use a weed whacker on a quilt, huh? Aw. So I hope I'm not missing anything. So, okay. So now, and in this fabric, it was cute. How to launder new fabrics. And I think it's cute. So this is coming from the Keepsake Company. So what I'll do is scan this in and put it on our website. But it's really cute. A blouse. That would be pretty, Diana. Oh my gosh, because I love those big, bold fabrics. All right, so let me see. I think I've covered about everything. So it's just a hand quilting demo, and then we'll go to photos. Okay, so let me do one thing really quickly. Oops, let me turn this just. All right, hold on. Kiwi, don't get scared. Don't get scared, girlfriend. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. I wanted to be able to turn this without scaring her. She dropped her grapes under my chair, so now I have rolled grapes all over the floor. All right, let me bring this closer. Come on. Step up. Okay. All right. Sorry. Had a little incident with the bird. So I was moving my quilt and knocked over Kiwi's little PlayStation. This is my daughter Becky's wedding quilt, the one that's gone the longest without being made. So, and what's nice about this quilt, besides the fact that I did scalloped edges on it, what's nice about this quilt is the wedding guests, the family members were asked if they wanted to send in a little scrap of fabrics, and I gave them certain colors and then said, send it in, and so that, if it has something to do with the kids. So things they love, teaching. My son's got some fabric with flames on it. So because he loved flames at that point. The apples, because they were both going to be teachers. They were teachers. And some music notes. And so they have a little something to do with the kids themselves. So I wanted to show y'all this. Now let me get it down. Hold on a second. Just a second. Let me get it down. And I want to show you where I've been working on it. Okay. All righty. Oh. All right. I had to get it out from under my chair. All righty. Sometimes it's hard doing all of this stuff in this little area. Okay. So I've been working to finish it, and I'm just about there. Let me clean off my glasses. In the excitement of the bird falling over, my glasses got messy. All right. So let me find where my needle is, where I was last working. Now, I know that ladies used to, here it is. I know ladies used to work on a big frame on their lap, but you don't really need to do that. The main thing is you need to have your batting, backing, and front smooth and connected. And back when I did this quilt, I probably hand basted it together. And it's not, it's maybe twin size. And so you still have to have a pretty good sized table to do it because it was hanging on the floor. So anyway, what I did with this, and there's all different kinds of, there's hoops on a stand that I saw it and thought it looked wonderful, but I've never gotten used to it. It's kind of awkward for me to turn it. You can, if your quilt is very well basted, you don't even have to have a hoop. But I find that it keeps it still. It keeps the quilt in place. And I always know right where I'm working. Because, otherwise, if you lay the quilt over there, then you're like, where was I working? Now, let me back this up and show you a few things. I have just put this on a hoop. It was very easy. I'm kind of lucky with this because I've done most of the quilting. I'm just doing little areas that I might have missed. And so I've put the quilt in here. Before you tighten the hoop, leave it nice and loose, okay? And you reach underneath and make sure it's all smooth in the back. Then while it's nice and loose, take and push the quilt. Push it. So many people make the mistake of thinking they have to have it tight as a drum. You don't do it tight as a drum on your long arm, and you don't do it when you're hand quilting. You have to have room to work with it. If it's tight as a drum, the stitches aren't going to be even. You're not going to be able to get them regular, anything like that. So let me now, I hope I have my thimble. I'm going to show you some stitches and then I'll go back and I'll go back and show you what you might need for this. I love these plastic thimbles. They are wonderful. And you can have fingernails or not. They're lightweight because my metal ones were too heavy and hard on my arthritis. Then you take a cup of water and you put it in your microwave for 2 minutes to kind of get it to start to want to boil. You take it out of the microwave and drop this in it. Then get something to fish this out and put it on your finger as soon as it's cool enough that you can put it on your finger without really hurting yourself. You still want it as warm as you can get it. And then let it cool on your finger. It will then be the perfect size for your finger. These are so comfortable that I have been known to get in the shower and start to wash my hair with the thimble still on. I forget I'm wearing it. So, but remember, yes, too tight is not a good thing. But anyway, so these are wonderful, but whatever thimble works for you. I've had people who like to use the thimbles that are just on their side. Alex Anderson quilts with her thumb instead of this finger. So she gets a thimble for her thumb and pushes the needle through. So whatever works for you. I am going to show you the rocking stitch method of hand quilting because to me, it's worth taking the time to learn the rocking stitch. If you plan on even doing one quilt, learning the rocking stitch is worth it. It's so much better than stab and pull, stab and pull. So now let me look through. I'm looking for one specific thing, and I'm not sure I have one. Let me look. Anyway. Okay, nope. I'm going to show you my stitching on this quilt, and then I'm going to get a new one, a new piece of fabric, a new thread, and show you that. Okay. What I was looking for is called a I'm trying to think if it's called a grab it, but it's like a little piece of vinyl that's a little bit sticky. And you put it on your finger and it helps you grab your needles. And I don't see one here. So hold on 1 second. I do know what else I could use instead of that. Let me see. I keep it scrunched down in here. Yay. All right. At least I have something I can use. But I don't. Darn it, I don't have a grab it. Okay. I think it's called grab it, but they're little dots. See this? That is a little, like a vinyl, it's called a thimble. And I put that across. This is my finger that pushes, that feels for the needle tip and pushes it back. And I will put this on that finger so I don't keep getting, pricked. But if you want to try hand quilting, don't buy anything except maybe one round wooden hoop, a thimblet, which comes in a pack. I had my packs here somewhere. Here it is. Silly me. This is thimblet. And then there's the grab it. And this just helps protect your fingers. See the picture? Whoops. See the picture there? All right. But I use a real thimble on my thimble finger and use this just to, because this is the finger that feels for that needle and pushes it back up. All right. I'm sorry I don't have my grab it, but I do have this. And you can, if you don't have a grab it, you can take a pair of surgical gloves, cut the finger out. Then it's called a finger cot, C-O-T. I also have this, and this is made for helping you grab a needle. It's nice and soft and rubbery, and it helps you pull the needle. Okay? And the reason this is so important right now that I'm telling you is Susan is thinking of doing some quilting with, she'd have to use an embroidery needle because she's thinking of using pearl cotton or DMC floss. So she'd have to use a thicker needle to be able to get that in there. And then it's going to be harder also to pull it through. So that's why I'm talking about this right now. All right. I'm going to position my needle. I'm going to position the camera and show you what I'm doing. All right. Now, I'm left-handed, so I do apologize for that. But let me grab my needle. What I'm working on doing right here is this is a design that I did. It's supposed to be tulip leaves and little tulips. And now I'm just outlining this little arc right here. This little melon, I think they call it. All right, so I've got my thread, and see my little tiny needle? And you think, oh, I could never use a tiny needle like that. Yes, you can, because that's how you get your best stitches when you do the rocking needle method of quilting. So what I do is I take and put the needle straight down. Okay, put it straight down. Then you put your finger, my finger underneath. See my finger underneath? It's touching the needle now and kind of holding it down there. And then you rock the needle all the way back, picking up just a little bite of the fabric. Okay. And then you bring the needle straight. As soon as it comes through, bring the needle straight back up. Touch it with your finger below until you can feel it good. Then push it straight back up. Okay, so now I've got 2 stitches on there. I find that for the most part, I'm only comfortable with 3 stitches on the needle at once. Sometimes I'll do 4. If I did this more often, I have a feeling that I would put a lot more on it. So now there's my third stitch. You see that? Then I take my thimble and I push it up, push hard against that, and my bottom finger is underneath helping make a mountain peak there so I can push that needle up. Then I use this sticky thing to pull the needle and thread up. Okay? Now I'm going to show you again. You take and put the needle straight down. My finger that's underneath is touching that needle and pushing while I lean. Now I just felt the fabric. I just felt the fabric pop out. So let me try that again. You can kind of feel what your fabric underneath is doing. All right. So put the needle straight down. Then use your thimble and your bottom finger to hold it only. Tilt it back. Push through to make one stitch. Can you see that? Then bring it straight back up. Touch it underneath, kind of holding it until you push it back up. The needle's now laying down. Now rock it straight back up. Once it even comes through the fabric, you put the needle straight back up. When you feel the needle underneath, you lay the needle down. I'm going to do one more just to show you can do 4. But there you go. So I've seen Jenny Beyer load like 6 or 7 on those tiny little needles. They are amazing. All right, so now I'm going to do it without talking to you so you can just watch me do it. Whoops, hold on. It's hard because my hands are way out in front of me. Whoops, let me try it again. I'm going to take off this thing. I'm not used to it. It's just one more thing to get my finger all caught up. That's why I like the little grab it dots, because you don't even know you've got them on. Now I'm almost to the end. And then I'll show you how I knot off. Now, since the thread is getting a little short, I'll show you how I knot off. You take and you make a loop and you run the needle through the loop. Whoops, I didn't actually make. Let me put my glass. You know what? It really would help if I put my glasses on. Okay, so you run the string through the loop like this. So now you have that knot, and you take and you push the knot down close to where the thread comes out of the fabric. So you've got a nice knot. Now what you're going to do is take a little nip of the fabric, run that needle in through the batting, not through the back, but in through the batting like this. Then you pull it, give a little tug. Now the knot is underneath there and in the batting. Okay, so let me cut this. Now what I'm going to do, give me a moment. I'm going to get some fabric and a darker thread so you can see better what I'm doing. All right. All right, so let me, I thought, brought a smaller hoop. Okay. All right. Now what I'm going to do is get one of my dark color spools of quilting thread. All right. If I can find the end, aha, hidden right where that slit is. Okay, so now all right. And you see how I thread my needle while it's still connected to the spool, because thread has a twist on it. And if you don't thread the needle correctly, your thread will constantly be gathering up and tensing up. And so I always thread the needle before I cut the thread off, because once you've cut it, then you won't know what end is up or down. I have some beeswax here, or you can use Thread Heaven or any one of those silicone thread conditioners. But this is important with hand quilting, to put a conditioner, beeswax, or here's Thread Heaven that I had. And it's important to condition it because that thread goes through a lot of tugging and pulling. And since it's a thicker thread, hold on, got to pick up my Thread Heaven lid. Since it's a thicker thread, you get a little bit more rubbing on the fabric. All right. So, let me grab this hoop. I tried looking for a smaller hoop, but I don't know where I've put them right now. So, all right. Let me see if I tore a big enough piece to go across. I didn't. It's not going to go across the hoop. I know. You tell them. She is telling you all about it. Let me see if this is a big enough piece here. That might work. It just helps to have it stabilized, okay? All right. But I wish I had a smaller hoop to show you on. Okay, I'm putting the fabric on here. Now, I don't have the batting or the backing, but that's okay. I'm just demonstrating the stitch. And all right. Now, let me see. Here's a water-soluble marker. Hopefully it still has some good ink in it. Yeah, it does. Okay. All right, so I drew a design on there. Whoops, I shouldn't have drawn it the same color as my thread. Let me see if this purple. Oh, I think the purple one probably is dried up. That's one of the problems, you know, you can't keep this stuff forever. And I find I tend to buy it on sale, and then by the time I use it, here we go. Okay. So remember that if you use one of these water-soluble pens, remember that the humidity in the air will help them to fade. So don't draw more than you can do at that sitting, because if you do, when you come back, it will not be there. So I tied a double knot on the end, okay? Let me see. See the double knot? All right. I've got my hoop on, tighten it down, I'm going to try this again so that you can. All right. Now, I'm going to start up in this corner, right up here. So what I want to do is come a ½ inch away from there and come right up at that corner, okay? Then pull your needle through. And this is what I like to do. I'm trying to bury my needle, okay? Hi, Audrey. We haven't seen you in a while. All right, so I hold this. I like to support the fabric. So I take my needle and hold the fabric right there and then give it a tug and it pops it right under. And that way you don't damage your needle and you don't accidentally pull so hard that it comes totally out. All right, so I'm going to go this way. So what I do is my needle is buried, and remember, you try to get it in between the batting layer. Don't get it just under the surface of the fabric. Okay? Now, well, I'll tell you what, so I don't have that too close. Okay. There. This might work better. All right. You ready? So you see it just came up. You just see it. Then you go straight up with the needle. You feel it on the bottom. Then you see my finger is pushing it back up right there. Soon as it comes through, then you crank it back down. And this is why you can't have your fabric too tight. Because if you have your fabric too tight, you're not going to get your stitches. And when you first start quilting, do not worry what size your stitches are. What you want to achieve is an evenness to your stitches. That's what's more important. The tiny stitches will come with time. So if you can see that it's really, truly rocking. You go in like this, my finger's underneath pushing, and then you push it up like this. Sometimes it catches on my skin. Push it up just till it comes through. Crank your needle up till it goes straight down. Push from underneath till it comes through. And don't feel bad if you have to pull the needle through. It's more important to get them even. All right? All right. So I'm going to just do a little bit more, and then feel free. Whoops, I'm trying to get in the right. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm trying to get back over to that line, and you lean it back, push, whoops. Then you come. Now, right now, my needle's a little loosey-goosey because there's not a layer of batting and backing for it to go through. So it's kind of going wild here. It's like this is way too easy. Okay, my stitches are a little crooked, not totally even. I'll try a little bit better this time. Okay. As soon as it comes through, whoops, see how it just goes through so fast? That's because it doesn't have the layers to keep it kind of tamed. Push it through. As soon as it gets up, go back down. As soon as it comes through, go this way. As soon as it comes through that way. So, does this make any sense to you? Does it make any sense? I hope it does. Sometimes if I leave too much of a space, like right there, then I'll just go back just a little bit. Whoops. Hold on. You see how tiny that needle is, but you need it tiny to be able to do the rocking stitch and to be able to hold it like I do. So I just go back a half stitch to make it more even, then come back. All right, and you know how to stop stitching. You would make a knot in here and then go down near that knot, come over a ½ an inch, come back up and pop it underneath the fabric. Always trying to bury that knot in the batting, but not all the way through to the backing, but in the batting. All right, and then to turn a corner, I mean, this is just really simple. Let's say that the pattern all of a sudden turns a corner. That's all you do. It's not like applique where you have to make a 3-point corner. You just go the direction it goes. You go the direction you need to go, and it's pretty simple. All right. So, what do you think? Okay. Now, I can always come back and show you a little bit more, but let me show you what is helpful to have if you're going to do hand quilting. Now, this stuff I've collected from lots and lots of years, and hand quilting has fallen out of use so much that you can get thread really cheaply if you keep your eyes open and look for sales and things. And I bought these so long ago, they were 79 cents. And some of these older spools don't have something to catch the thread in, so that's why this was such a mess. But what I do sometimes if I get those, is I get near the end of the thread, use my fingernail to make a dent and pull it. And that can help hold it. But I have all different color threads. Most of the time you're going to use, it used to be you used off-white because the backing was muslin, always muslin. But now it's whatever goes. Hold on just a second, people. All right. Now, so here are some threads. Then let's look at marking pencils. You've got your tailors. Whoops, I'm too far. Hold on. Whoops, no. Okay, I don't know if I showed you my threads good. I didn't realize I was up so. Okay, so here are all my different threads. And you will have to find what marking utensils work good for you. I always have my tailor's chalk. I found these big ones, big wooden ones, and they come in white, blue, and red. I've got a couple things in yellow. And some of these do a better job of marking than others. You just have to kind of try. These big ones are probably my favorite. Then I have a soapstone marker, and that works pretty good on darker colors. And then I have 2 soapstone markers. Now, what is this thread? I don't know why this thread's in here. I don't see a needle on it. And don't buy too many of these at a time because they do dry out. All right. So those are my marking things. And then I also have, I've shown it to you, it's upstairs, but the rolling chalk markers are really good. You can use the pens that, what was I thinking of telling you? The kinds of pens that you iron off. Here's some blue tailor's chalk. It shows up really good on white fabric. White tailor's chalk. It's good to have needle threaders. And one thing you'll notice, and of course your wax or thread heaven, one thing you'll notice is I keep all of my quilting needles in wooden spools. And you can get those. Collins makes them. You can get those from places like Connecting Threads carries them. Any place that carries traditional things. I like them because you can put tape on them and write what's in them. I like them because they keep your needles from rusting. They're very good at keeping the needles dry. And I can have a myriad of needles by having and keep them for a long time. Now, my favorite needles are John James Golden Glide quilting. Hand quilting needles are called betweens. And the size, here's the smallest. Well, actually, I think there might be one more smaller than this one. And my favorite are the John James Golden Glide, Big Eye needle. These are my all-time favorites. Golden Glide Big Eye, and I love that because I don't like using needle threaders, so I'm not very good with needle threaders. Here are some that I picked up. I'll get them if they're on sale, but here are your needle threaders. I find they always break on me. Just seems like a waste. Here are embroidery needles, which is what Susan would have to use if she's going to use a thicker thread. Here is a brand new water-soluble marking pen, air erasable. And the air erase, just the humidity in the air will erase it over time. Let's see. Clover. So, and here's one of my chalk markers. I love these. They have a little wheel in them that leaves a very fine line of chalk. Let me see if I can do it on this. You see that fine line of chalk? I love my chalk markers. And then you'll see all kinds of tape. And I used to think I would use this more than I actually have. And it is a narrow 1/4-inch masking tape. The reason it can be really helpful is because you can then lay this out on the fabric. Let me show you on here. Kiwi's trying to help me. But I know, thank you. Thank you, Kiwi. Kiwi, hey, watch it. But you can lay this on your fabric. Whoops, why is this continuing to move? Whoops. That joint needs to be tightened down. Hold on. Now I just did that again. I'm not having a good day. Okay, here we go. But you can lay this on your fabric. Let me see where she hasn't bitten it. But you can lay this on your fabric if you want to quilt straight lines. Okay, Kiwi. All right, let me see if I can make this thing work. I told Mark it's moving. I don't know how to tighten it. Okay. Wow, now it's really working. Okay, hold on just a second. If you lay this tape on your fabric, you'll get a pretty good straight line that you can quilt along. And you can keep moving it, using it, setting it back up to make your next line. But I think one roll will probably last you your whole life. As you can see, I kind of went a little crazy buying it, and I'll never use all of that. So, all righty. So really, it's not that much that you need. I will be very happy when Mark is well, because this thing is giving me a fit. Hello. Okay, between the bird and the camera falling down, it's making me frustrated. So let me put this away. Oh. Okay. So anyway, I don't know why. It's one of his camera mounts is not holding at all. So if it drops down, you'll know why. Anyway, okay. Hello. So let me put these things over here, but just kind of giving you a little information on what is helpful to have. A lot of times I will keep the little finger pin cushion on my hand. Bird, go. And now you see why Kiwi's not down here every Sunday, because until I clip her wings. Did we ever say the phrase to our kids, I'm going to clip your wings? You'll know why our parents said that. Because a bird with wings is a bird you can't control. But there's all kinds of marking pencils. So she's on my chair again. So anyway, but I hope, did you get a good chance to see this? This is going to go down in the history books as a very frustrating weekend for me. I'm going to put her back. Oh, go back. Stay. Yes. Oh, no problem. She's a funny girl. She's been very attached to me lately. So I think it was because I went to the Myrtle Beach quilt party and she missed Mama. So thank you for all your comments on that. I had a lot of fun with it, and your comments on the kitchen. And this is my new smartphone that I don't know how to use yet, but I'm going to learn. I promise I'm going to learn. So anyway, she does love me. But yeah, she's a bossy girl. She's a very bossy girl. There are times that it's like, it's either her or I. One of us is going to go. So, but she's a good girl. She does pretty good. And she doesn't like it when I get upset with her. She kind of sits and looks at me like, are you still mad? Are you mad now? So, but anyway, why don't we look at your photos, because they're wonderful. So, okay. Here you go. Do not come over here. No. See, when she can fly, she's like, I don't have to do what you say. You're not my boss. Let me turn off the lights and see what you've got. I've got a couple real fun things. Okay. All right. Let me see. Let's go here. Oh, this was already up, so I might as well use this. I'm quilting a quilt for a friend, and y'all need to remind me, please remind me that I do not like quilting quilts for people. It's too nerve-wracking for me. I'm not Diana Wright, and I don't have that gift. Hold on. I don't have that gift of quilting, and it becomes so stressful for me. Come on. So anyway, here's the quilt I'm working on, and I'll be real glad when it's done, and I'm not going to ever quilt for anybody ever again. I'm not good at it. I don't have a quality enough machine to do it. So I'm just doing big blazuni flowers all over it because it's a trip around the world quilt. And so when I see, so much geometry, then I think, aha, I will do something soft and round on it. But I'm doing it for my friend, but that's the last time. All right. Let me go back to pictures. Let's look at, I still didn't get the answer from Miss Bonnie, but hopefully somebody would have gotten my attention and said, Deb, don't you dare show her pictures. So Miss Bonnie is working on a cross stitch. We didn't have I don't remember. Well, last time I cross stitched was in the late 70s, but I don't remember having the printed ones. But oh man, that would be nice. I do not do well with counted cross stitch. It's too much concentration for me. But Miss Bonnie is doing a beautiful job on her cross stitch. And here's some gorgeous fabric she got in that reminds me of 1930s wash day fabrics. They're beautiful, really happy, bright. I can't wait to see what she does with those. But I loved looking at, I was so glad that she mentioned her site because I love looking at Miss Bonnie's pictures. Look at this meal she made. Oh my gosh. Whoops. Let me double check that I'm still seeing y'all. Okay. What is this doing? Hold on. Let me make sure I've still got you on here. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me go back to the photos. My camera I thought was acting up. I'm not sure. All right. So I showed you Miss Bonnie's fabric. I love those colors. But look at this meal. I am just so impressed with the things Miss Bonnie cooks. But that is a shrimp and feta cheese and mushroom salad. I mean, is that beautiful? That could be in a magazine. That is so beautiful. So I love how Miss Bonnie takes care of herself because, you know, that's always big with me. I want to know that y'all are taking care of yourselves. And then I found out she hems her Aida cloth, and I'm thinking, that is tough stitching, I would think. But hopefully she has a way of protecting her hands. But she hems it. I used to put masking tape or do the fray check, but then she was exactly right. It becomes really tough then. I mean, there were times that it would scratch you if you put too much fray check on it. But way to go, Bonnie. Now, I just want to show y'all again Miss Cheryl's owl that she's doing for our landscape class on Thursday nights. I'm so impressed with you, Miss Cheryl. Way to go. Way to go, hon. Very, very impressed. And here again is her inspiration, and there is her beautiful owl. Isn't that great? Y'all are so talented. All right, Diana. Diana's been busy, and we've got some great things to show. Here is another Quilt of Valor, done and ready to go. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. There's another shot of it, I do believe. Oh, that's the top. Why is the power turning? Oh, I know why the power's turning off. The camera came unplugged. Oh, boy. Hold on, guys. This is just not my day or weekend. I'm having all kinds of problems here.